This video is brought to you by Deep Silver and the newly released character creation tool, Boss Factory. Welcome back everybody to another episode of Direct Comparison. In today's episode, we're going to take a look at Turtle Beach's recently released Stealth 700 Gen 2 Max, and see how it compares to last year's Recon 500. The Recon 500 is a wired headset that released last year for about $80. The Stealth 700 Gen 2 Max, on the other hand, is one of Turtle Beach's newer headsets, with higher quality materials and more features, though it's also much pricier, coming in at around $200. So are all those extra bells and whistles worth the additional $120? Or are you better off sticking with last year's wired headset instead? That's what I plan on answering today. But first, I'd like to share a quick look at the Saints Row character creation tool, Boss Factory. Boss Factory is a free-to-download custom character tool that can be used to build playable characters or bosses that can be used in the upcoming game Saints Row. With this revamped customization engine, players can build practically any character that they want, with sliders to change things like body type, physique, facial structure, hairstyle, skin color, and even the ability to customize either side of the character's face asymmetrically. Players can then choose from any of the available clothing options and accessories to really turn their character into something special, whether that be something fully original, or maybe even something players might recognize, like a famous celebrity, a pop culture icon, or a favorite video game character. Once you're done, you can share your creation with the world by uploading it to the servers. And when Saints Row releases later this year, you can immediately jump in with your favorite boss and begin your fight for control of Santa Lasso. If you want to give it a try, be sure to check the link in the description below. You can download the demo anytime now through the game's release, and by doing so, you'll unlock additional bonus content for use in Saints Row. Alright, now back to the headsets. Let's break it all down and start by looking at the form factor and design. The Recon 500 headset is a fairly straightforward design, so much so that it doesn't really come off looking too much like a gamer headset. The headband is made of a combination of a thin exterior plastic and an interior metal band to help reinforce it, along with about half an inch of memory foam encased by a faux leather. The ear cups are decently large, designed to fit over the ears, and like the headband, each ear cup is lined with 3/4 of an inch of memory foam, wrapped in a soft athletic weave fabric that's nice and breathable. Together, the headset only weighs about 12 ounces, so along with being breathable, it's also very lightweight and comfortable, even during longer game sessions. The Stealth 700, on the other hand, has more of a premium look and feel to them. First, there's the headband, that, while similar to the Recon 500's, features a thicker plastic shell and inner padding. Personally, I'm not a fan of either headset's headband, as the memory foam tends to get pressed down after prolonged use, and may feel increasingly uncomfortable depending on the shape of your head. So I would have liked to see a wider, soft headband standing separate from the metal reinforcement to avoid this problem altogether. As for the ear cups, these things are huge compared to the Recon 500's. The pads themselves are over an inch thick, and the plastic shell is even thicker. These for sure look like gamer headphones, though they are at least very comfortable. Despite the seemingly small ear chamber, my ears fit in nicely, and I never felt like any part of my ear was being pushed or bent. That being said, these headphones are incredibly snug, and push strongly against the sides of my head due to the high clamp force. They're not necessarily uncomfortable, but I can see this being a problem for some users, as there's a definite constant pressure on either side. On the upside, the Stealth 700s have a very nice ear cushion design. Along with the thick memory foam interior, each cup also uses a special AeroFit cooling gel that actually feels cool to the touch right on the outer layer. This is sewn to a thick faux leather exterior padding for aesthetic purposes, though it also provides some nice support that keeps your ears from touching the driver grille. There's also a hidden tab under each earpiece to adjust for those who wear glasses, which is a nice touch. Surprisingly, despite its bulky frame and design, the Stealth 700s only weigh a little bit more than the Recon 500s, at roughly 13.3 ounces. So really, it all comes down to that pressure applied by the ear cup angles. If it weren't for that, the Stealth 700s would be an easy win in the form factor category, as the headband is softer, the ear cushions are cooler, and the overall look and feel just comes off as more of a premium pair of headphones. Next, let's talk about functionality. When compared to the Stealth 700s, the Recon 500s appear extremely bare bone. The only button on the headset is a large microphone mute on the outside of the left cup. And towards the rear, there's a single audio volume dial, and a 4-foot braided 3.5mm audio cable, necessary for a wired connection. Because of its simple design, this headset is incredibly simple to use. Just plug it into a compatible controller and you're good to go. And because these are officially licensed by Xbox, they also offer additional functionality on Xbox One, Series S or Series X platforms by means of Windows Sonic surround sound support, though they can just as easily be used to game on PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, Nintendo Switch, or on the PC. However, by itself, this headset really doesn't have enough functionality to make it practical when compared to the Stealth 700s. On the rear of the left earpiece, there's several different buttons and dials, including a Bluetooth sync button, the power switch, a mode select, which I'll talk about in a bit, and then two dials, one that controls the headset's main output volume, and another that can be manually set to control various different functions via a linked Bluetooth mobile app. Each of these buttons are also shaped differently too, making it easier to feel which button you're pressing without having to look. And any changes made can be heard in the headphones, thanks to a series of indicating tones and programmed voice reminders.
Battery level high.
The Stealth 700s also have a hidden microphone that can be easily pulled down from the left cup as well. It's not a very flexible headphone mic, as it can only really angle slightly towards or away from the user's mouth. But I do like the unique flip-up mute functionality, which activates the mute by pushing the mic up halfway. Like the Recon 500s, the Stealth 700s can also be paired with new and last-gen consoles, along with the PC. And thanks to Bluetooth support, you can also connect to mobile phones or other compatible Bluetooth devices. By connecting to an Android or iOS device, users can unlock additional functionality for the Stealth 700s thanks to the Turtle Beach Audio Hub app, which can be used to change the default function of the mode button and the secondary dial to fit the user's playstyle. But if you don't want to deal with all that, the Stealth 700s are still pretty simple to set up. Simply insert the USB dongle into the device you want to use, select either Xbox or USB depending on the platform that you want to play on, and then turn on the headset. Like with the Recons, the Stealth 700s can enable Microsoft's Sonic Audio on the console settings for a simulated surround sound, but you won't be able to make use of anything like Dolby Digital or Atmos with either headset. The nice thing about the 700s is that despite being wireless, the battery life is remarkably long. You can expect anywhere between 30 to 40 hours of battery before needing to recharge, and even then, recharging takes only about an hour to max out the battery again. With the Recon 500s, you obviously don't have to worry about battery at all. But I will say that the placement of the audio cable is a bit annoying considering most desktop computers are placed on the right side of the user. Finally, we have arguably the most important part of any headset, and probably one of the hardest parts to actually demonstrate in a video, the audio quality. Based purely off of my own experience using both headsets over the course of the past few weeks, the newer Stealth 700s are undoubtedly the better choice. Audio is much louder, crisper, and features plenty of bass without feeling too boxy. The interior of each earpiece makes use of a 50mm nano clear driver that delivers some decent sound quality, albeit much better on the Xbox than on the PlayStation 5 from when I tested. Playing Spider-Man, for example, just sounded like it was closed off, like certain sounds were getting cut off. Tapping the mode button to enable what Turtle Beach calls superhuman hearing does help with this, as it aims to amplify sound effects like gunshots, reloads, and footsteps, to allegedly give you an edge over your competition. But in this mode, the sound didn't sound quite right either. The good news is that these headphones are loud enough that you can hear everything you need to, especially with their superhuman setting enabled. And because of that faux leather exterior surrounding the ear, that sound doesn't bleed out either. I mean, just watch what happens when I drop these headphones onto Fred here. You can barely hear it at all, and that's on full blast. The Recons, on the other hand, deliver much less impressive results here. The sound quality itself is actually pretty good. These earpieces utilize a unique 60mm dual driver design, with one driver handling the mids and highs, while the other delivers lower frequency sounds. The idea is good, but I do feel as though this lower frequency driver isn't doing the heavy lifting that it needs to do, and the resulting sound isn't quite as full as the Stealth 700s. What's more, these headphones are quiet. So much so that I found myself flipping through console menus trying to see if there was some sort of chat setting that might have been causing the issue. There is one trick that seems to help in this area a great deal, and that's Turtle Beach's accompanying Recon controller. When the Recon 500 is plugged into this, suddenly it has significantly more functionality, with options to crank up the audio further, several equalizer presets, separate chat volume buttons, and even the superhuman hearing button found on the Stealth 700s. The controller is essentially an amplifier, and an absolute necessity for any Xbox player interested in the Recon 500s. Because these headphones use that athletic weave, sound does bleed pretty heavily through the cups. So you'll be able to hear most of your surroundings, while others can hear what you're listening to decently enough. Which is something to keep in mind if you plan on getting these for travel purposes. Finally, let's see how the two microphones perform. Which headset do you think has the better mic audio quality? Welcome back everybody to another episode of Direct Comparison. This is the Turtle Beach Recon 500. Welcome back everyone to another episode of Direct Comparison. This is the Turtle Beach Stealth 700 Gen 2 Max. And that wraps up this episode of Direct Comparison. Overall, I think the Stealth 700 Gen 2 Max are a noticeable upgrade over the slightly older Recon 500s. Not only do the Stealth 700s sound better, feel better, and look like a more premium headset, but they are wireless, with little to no latency, and a simple plug-and-play connectivity, compatible with all of the same devices. That being said, the Stealth 700s do have some drawbacks, including the overly strong clamp force, and some not so great audio quality when used on the PlayStation 5. Additionally, the Stealth 700s are pretty pricey for a gaming headset. With only Windows Sonic audio, $200 feels like a high asking price. And so, the Recon 500s appear to be a much better deal overall, with some nice audio quality, comfort, and idiot-proof connectivity. However, the Recon 500s also pair much better with the Recon controllers, essentially making this headset only practical for users playing on the Xbox, or maybe the PC. Meaning PlayStation or Nintendo gamers are probably better off looking at other options altogether. But what do you guys think? Do you think the new Stealth 700 Gen 2 Max are worth the $200 asking price? Or are you more partial for the wired Recon 500s instead? Let me know in the comment section. And as always, don't forget to like and subscribe for more videos posted every week.